Yo, I got a 2014 Silverado in here. The guy took it to the dealer and spent $100 to have him diagnose a bunch of stuff. They said it's got a bad condenser in it. I'm just going to take their word for it and do it. They also said it had a leaking radiator, and I'm pressure testing it and it's not leaking, so they wanted to replace a radiator and the condenser all at once. I'm going to believe they're half right. I'm going to do the condenser on this truck. First thing I got to do is take this cover off. There's a whole bunch of clips right here. Pull the centers out of them, just using a regular screwdriver. And I actually have a tool for this that works sometimes. Pull the center out. Only has to come out halfway actually. There's 10 millimeters on these core support brackets. I'm going to take that one off and just loosen this one up. Swing it out of the way. On the driver's side corner, there's a washer fluid reservoir, 10 millimeter bolt. I'm going to take that out because hopefully I can just kind of pull this back enough to get a bolt that's under here. There's 3 bolts under this. They're 10 millimeters. I have a swivel ratchet. I'm going to try to get it out with those. Same thing here on the passenger side. There's 3 more. Then I have 3 13 millimeters. I got 2 for the radiator. And I got 1 on the front of the core support in the center. Then the big dumb thing should just come right out. Nice and floppy now. Now on this valance on the top, there's a couple of clips here. I'm just going to get a hook tool and pull it up. And just do that on the other side too. This AC condenser has transmission lines running in and out of it, so you should check your transmission fluid after you put the new one in. There's little wire clips here. You can take them off with a hook tool, but I got these fancy overpriced contraptions. You just put them on the line like so, and then once you get them in all the way, you just turn the thing. And it lifts those clips up and I can just pull out on it and it's supposed to work. And it's not working. Okay, the fancy overpriced contraption isn't working for me. So I'm just going to get in here with a hook tool. Get this clip out of here. They like to go flying sometimes. These guys. There's one on the other side too. Oh, drippy, drippy. Same with the driver's side. Well, my fancy contraption worked that time. I only need to get like 2 more bolts off. I really don't need to do this, but just to make my life a little easier, and well, this way you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I'm going to take this airbox off. There's a little child-proof connector here you just pull up on. Push in the tab inside of it. Get this mass airflow sensor off. There's a clip down on the bottom you pull out. Get that out of the way. These are 8 millimeters or regular screwdrivers. There's 4 of these for the airbox. There's 1 missing down there to make my life easier. 8 millimeter here, or a regular screwdriver. I can take this out. Take the filter out. 8 millimeter on the throttle body. There's a couple of breather hoses on here. You just push in these gray connectors, just push them down and they pop out. There's 1 on each side. And this just comes out. And I believe this airbox just pulls straight out. It's just that little tab. Well, there's 3 of them actually. They weren't in there all the way though. It's probably been out before. Now here's where the air box was. Right here, down under here, there's a bolt for the condenser. If there's system pressure in here, you're gonna want to go to a store and get it evacuated or something. There's no pressure in this, so I don't have to worry about it. It's a 13 millimeter. Pull them out. There should be O-rings on here you got to replace. I'll leave them on for now. I have one more lonely 10 millimeter bolt right here for this hanger on the radiator. That bracket can kind of slide out of the way. I got some fun little clips here. I can push in this tab right here. It's probably easier just to put a screwdriver in here like this. Pull up on it. Do the same to the other side. Get this thing out of here. Oh, what the heck, it fell back in the crack. Out of the crack, Jack. Takes a little weaseling to get this out, but it'll come out. Out with the old, in with the new. I swapped over the plastic parts and I vacuumed out a little bit of this radiator and all the junk that was stuck in it. I just got to get everything back in the 4 slots where they belong. I'm going to put a little transmission fluid on this. Sucker don't want to go in there. Take that clip out, see if this goes in there now. It won't even go in. Aftermarket junk. I'm going to wreck the line just trying to get this thing in here. So I got a 16 here and a 19 here, and I'm going to try to take this nut off. I don't want to return this piece of junk. Should have a seal on the inside of it. It will not go in there. See if the factory fitting will go in here. Oh yeah, just like it's supposed to. What do you know? A bunch of junk. Put this aftermarket clip on it. I'm gonna call that a win. I guess I'll end up doing the same thing to the other side. The other side won't go in either. I put a little refrigerant oil and new O-rings on here. You always want to put a little refrigerant oil on these O-rings to get them to seal. You want them to kind of slide around a little bit. You start getting them too tight and these lines will bend. You don't want that. Now I'm going to throw some vacuum in this system. I got this cheap little Harbor Freight vacuum thing that you use with regular air pressure. I'm going to check for leaks. You got to evac the system anyways to get as much air out of it as you can. So I'm just going to open these valves up all the way. Plug this in, it's going to suck it down. I'm going to let it run like this for about a minute or 2. They say you should do it for 15 minutes, but whatever. I'll let it go long enough. I'm just going to close these valves off. Take the air off. I'm going to leave it sit for a half an hour and make sure that that vacuum is going to be the same. This thing has the accumulator or receiver dryer on the condenser. I'm going to see if there's any oil in it. I got a 12 millimeter Allen here. It says warning, under pressure. Well, not when you take it out of the car. This is a desiccant bag. It's supposed to soak up moisture. There's like little pebbles of desiccant material in here. I'm just gonna dump this out, see if there's anything in here. There's nothing in it. It's a little wet in there, that's about it. So I did that because, like, if I get an ounce or something that comes out of here, I know I gotta add that amount back into the system. I let it sit for about an hour. The vacuum did drop quite a bit, a couple inches. Regardless, I gotta fill this back up to try to find any leaks if it does have any. There's already dye oil in it, and I looked around, I couldn't find any leaks. A lot of times you gotta fill them like 2 or 3 times before you even see any dye oil come out of the thing. I didn't sniff it or anything. But I'm gonna put more dye oil in it. I got like 3 ounces of PAG 46 in here, and this has dye oil in it. I don't know, I made my own contraption to put oil in a system when there's vacuum in it. Normally with a really small leak you want to add about an ounce. In a really big leak, like if a line just blows off, you want to put about 3 ounces in it. If you didn't get any extra oil come out of it when you're replacing any parts. So I'm just going to go right in the middle. I put like 3 ounces in here, and I'm just going to add like 2 ounces. I just got a little ball valve I turn on here, and I just let it suck it in. I put too much in the bottle too because I don't want any air going back into the system. I don't know, that's just how I do stuff. I'm going to suck vacuum through the high side again and not the low side, because I don't want that oil getting sucked back into my vacuum. So I got the low side closed and the high side open. I'm going to suck this back down again just because I can. I'm just going to let it sit there with vacuum in the system while I put this all back together. I still think there might be a small leak. I'm not satisfied with looking at this gauge. I could have a leak just in the gauge system or something too. I don't know, we'll see. This is neat. It says 0.6 kilograms, I think. I've never seen AC like this. It just says R134A PAG oil. It's like, what? 0.6 kilograms, and a big looking thing says 1.02. I don't even know. Wow, that's pretty universal, man. I don't think they expect everybody to be American to figure that out. Anyways, 0.6 kilograms should be 600 grams, about 1.3 pounds. So I'm gonna put 600 grams in here on this scale. I'm gonna start by putting as much as I can in the cold side. I got almost 600 grams in it. I'll have to give it a little squirt after I fire this up. I'll turn the AC on high, max. I went over just a little bit. Oh well, I'll get over it. That won't hurt nothing. Now I just got to get all the liquid to run in onto the high side and make sure all these pressures are going to work real good. I'm just going to leave it run and run and run. Should be fine. Wow. These trucks get cold. Looks like I had to add about 8 ounces of Dex 6. And it's a job. Okay, bye.